Hey! Hi! Hello! Today we're gonna talk about the digestive system. See this fuel hose? Well, the food that we eat is like the fuel we put in our vehicles, okay? Have you heard the expression that we are what we eat? That's not true. We are what we digest. Because through digestion, we obtain the nutrients we need to live and to repair our bodies. Welcome to the amazing world of science. The digestive system has three main functions. First, to break down the food. Second, to absorb nutrients, salt and water into our circulatory system. And last but not least, to get rid of the waste not absorbed.
What would happen if you ate grapes upside down? Would they go up your throat into your stomach? Try this for yourself at home. Lucky for us, the food we eat doesn't fall from our mouth to our stomach. It's actually pushed along by muscles in our throat. That's called peristalsis. And that's why astronauts are able to eat and digest food in space where there is no gravity.
Digestion begins in your mouth. When chewing, what you do is to break down the food into smaller pieces, and with the help of your teeth and your tongue, you mix all of them with the saliva. And that is when you make the food bolus that help us to swallow better. Some food like bread, potatoes or rice contain a substance called starch, which is a complex sugar more difficult to digest than others. Iodine helps us to find out which food items contain starch because its color changes from orange to dark purple. Today in this experiment we are going to demonstrate how saliva helps us to digest starch. We will need some bread, some water, some betadine which contains iodine, and some test tubes with a test tube holder. We add some water as a controlled substance, some water mixed with bread, and some water mixed with bread and saliva because we have been chewing it before for a while. It is time to add some iodine. So, as you can see, it is orange, but when we shake it well, see, this is orange, but this one, which contains starch, becomes a little bit dark purple. Okay, we shake well. See, the control is still orange, but the other two mixtures are like a dark purple. So let's see what happens if we wait for about 30 minutes.
A few moments later.
And now, as you can see, 30 minutes later, the control is still orange. The mixture of bread and water is not as purple as before, but it is still dark. And the mixture of water, bread and saliva, it's pink, which means that saliva helps us to digest complex substances as starch. After chewing, the food bolus goes from the mouth down the esophagus and into the stomach. Here it stays from 3 to 6 hours until it becomes a paste like a puree called chyme. That chyme then goes into the duodenum, which is the first section of the intestine, where it is mixed with some of the juices produced by the pancreas and the liver, until the chyme becomes another substance called chyle, which is more like some kind of milky liquid. That chyle contains all the nutrients to be absorbed in the small intestine. All along the small intestine there are like tiny bumps that absorb that nutrient into the circulatory system. Substances not absorbed in the small intestine continue toward the large
Intestine?
where water is removed from the solid waste to be expelled. Moreover, the bacteria break down anything not absorbed before. Finally, the rectum stores all the remains until they leave the digestive system through the anus. In our digestive system, there are two organs that are fundamental to our digestion. Those are the liver and the pancreas. The liver is the biggest organ in the human body and is the only one able to regenerate itself. Its functions are to produce bile, about a liter a day, that help us to process nutrients, to transform sugar, fats and proteins, and to store glucose, iron and vitamins, to clean the blood, transforming the dangerous substances, and to produce heat to warm other organs up inside our body. On the other hand, the pancreas produces enzymes and hormones. The most important one is the insulin, an hormone that controls the levels of sugar in our blood. Well, that's all for today. Don't forget that science rules. And remember that an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Wait, keeps the doctor away? Keeps me away? I don't get it. What does it mean?
Dr. J.